Okay, and now we go into the next workshop, and this is another wonderful workshop that we have for you. It's going to be on inclusive and agile leadership in hybrid culture for future-ready teams. And to present this workshop to you, we have with us two wonderful speakers, both from Sysco Labs. So we have Kalana, Head of Product Delivery Customer Experience, and Savani De Silva, Senior Project Manager for Sysco Labs. So I'd like you to welcome both of them on stage as they speak to you in this next workshop under the leadership track, which will be on inclusive and agile leadership in hybrid culture for future-ready teams. So get ready for another interactive session. Like we said before, you need to interact, collaborate, work together, work with new teams, not at the same tables maybe, so they'll make you move around. All right, so you're good for that? Yes? Are you? So far, so good? You're still awake, right? Bade Hinganna is not troubling you? Troubling? We have medicine for that. All right, so everybody get up. Okay, so there's a simple thing that we're supposed to do. Whenever you're feeling tired, that's because your ultradian rhythm is going down. So you need to re-energize yourself. One little thing that you can do is move around, right? So let's shake it, shake it, shake, shake it. Come on, shake, 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 shake. Shake, 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 shake. Come on, shake karana be. Be, lajjai. Come on. All right, now just take one step backwards. Move your chair a little bit, one step back. Yeah, one step back. See. That little bit of movement itself, you're energizing yourselves, yeah? All right? So you all feel good? Turn to the person next to you and say, I feel good. Then people are not around you. You moved around. Okay? Okay, all right. So let's get back to your seats. My presenters are ready, right? And welcome them on stage with a warm round of applause.
Hello, everyone. Good evening.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for that. Thank you for taking some time. So I think, Amila, you did a wonderful job. Thanks for that. And that's one area that we were not planning to talk about, because I know you've been going through a lot of discussions, talks about AI, artificial intelligence, but we are not going to talk about the artificial intelligence today. I don't know whether it is good or bad, but we will not talk about that, but we will talk about agile leadership in the hybrid environment. With that, Savani, shall we move on to the next slide?
Yeah, so shall we ask the audience, Kalana, how do they feel about the hybrid environment?
Do you have anyone who's, you can raise your hands or you can shout out. Anyone who's working from home, working from office, or while you are driving, have you, anyone who has not experienced that, or can I ask who has experienced it? Can I see the hands raised? Yeah.
All right.
Good, 70, 80%. That's
yeah.
Good.
So, do you believe this is the exact same pulse around the world? According to a study done by Zoom very recently, 83% of people from Asia Pacific demand hybrid work.
But there's a glitch, Savani, on that. 39% of leaders believe or think that inclusion or the leadership is compromised because of the hybrid environment. But we'll see how it goes during this workshop.
Yeah, and also get this, 70% of people have said they are ready to leave their current job if there's no flexibility for them to choose their work model. So, this is the hybrid world knocking so loud, and the stakes have never been so higher.
So, moving on, we have on the next slide, we will have a hybrid time capsule, which is dated today, 5th of April 2025. I think this symbolizes all the challenges that we have in our hybrid world today, currently, So what we are going to do today is, during this workshop, how we are going to unfold this, how we are going to give solutions, find solutions to all these challenges, and make you all use them practically at your workplaces. So basically, we will try to bottle all the challenges, and then seal them with solutions as well, which you can take home.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like Kalana said, at the end of the workshop today, we are going to see what goes into this capsule and also what we leave behind and what we carry forward with us to build the cultures for the future-ready teams. So remember those numbers? They aren't just abstract. They are your teams, your organizations, and your leadership too. So are you ready to see that pulse by yourself? Kalana?
Yeah. So we'll make you all stand for a couple of minutes. We'll do a small walk. We call it the hybrid walk. Walk for agile leadership. Let's do a quick walk.
You must be tired of
Being seated,
for a long time, so let's get up. Let's stand up, everyone. So this is going to be a quick and interesting activity. So I'm not sure whether we'll have enough space for everyone to walk. Kalana, what do you think? Should we?
Maybe we take a couple of members from each table.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Maybe.
So we'll see the leadership in
Yes.
each table.
Leaders, come to the front.
So shall we, maybe we do a quick demo, Savani, with some of our organizers, Harsha, Vijuni, we can, if you can give us a quick help. So
All
what
right.
we are going to do, you all can stand in shoulder to shoulder like this.
Yeah.
We will tell a couple of sentences. If it is true for you all, you can take a step forward and remain there. If it is not correct, or if it is false for you all, you can take a step backwards and just remain there for the next question.
Yeah. So let's see how it works. So we'll have a quick demo. Kalana, we'll start with the first statement, maybe.
Yeah.
You have to be genuine in this.
Yes. It all depends on how true you are for yourself. So, take a step forward if it is true, take a step backward if it is false.
Don't fall.
Let me put it like this. While you're working for your company, for your team, have you ever played a video game during an online meeting? Take a step forward if you have done that. Okay,
No,
thanks. Thanks for being genuine.
Yeah. This is what we need to see. The honesty.
Yeah.
Maybe
What about
we'll
the next
go
question?
for another statement. You have made it through an entire video conference without having a surprised appearance in your background.
Say your brother, sister, whoever.
Your pet, maybe.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So you see the disbursement, the how people have behaved well, how you all have behaved. Probably we'll see how you all also have going to do this, but see the demonstrators, right? So thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
So this shows how, give them a round of applause. Thanks.
All right. So can we have at least 2 people from each table coming to the front, and we can
This
form
will
a
be fun.
line
This will
in
be
the
fun.
front.
Just 2 people to the front, and maybe, I hope we can have space here. Please come. Thanks, Evelyn. Yeah. You can put the line over here. Yeah, shoulder to shoulder, everybody.
Yeah, while you're coming to the front, let me quickly recap. So we encourage the honesty. We encourage the honesty in this activity.
Thank
That's
you.
the key.
So you might want to take one step ahead,
Maybe
because
you might-
if the
yes.
statement is not correct, you have to, if it is
should
false, you have
step
to take
back,
a step
so
back.
you need to have some space in the front and back.
Be truthful, be truthful.
Yeah.
He will realize the actual situation at office. All right.
All right. So remember, we are gonna read a few statements. If it is true for you, take a step forward. If it is not, take a step backward. Are you ready? All right, Kalana, shall we start?
Yeah, of course. So don't look at others. Do what you want. Okay, so the first statement, your hybrid or remote meetings have never been dominated by in-office employees. I'll repeat again. Your hybrid or remote meetings have never been dominated by in-office employees or team members. So basically, you've been able to work together. If it is true, take a step. If it is false, take a step backward. You can take baby steps. That's fine. It says never. Okay, right? So just think about the word never.
Is it a front or back? Well, you can't stay in the same place. You have to keep moving.
You can stay in the same place if that is the case. Yeah? Let's go on to the second.
Yeah, let's go to the step 2. You have never experienced miscommunication due to a lack of face-to-face interactions. Let me repeat. You have never experienced miscommunication due to a lack of face-to-face interactions.
It could be remote, it could be offline, online. Falls on one step back, yeah. Don't worry, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one then.
Yeah, okay, step 3. Are you still moving? Shall we go to the next step? All right, so Kalana.
Evaluating hybrid teams' performance has never been challenging. So this is about evaluating performance in a hybrid team, right? Which has led to greater focus on actual impact over hours. Are you all logging hours in your organization? Or you are really working on the value that you're delivering? Then you have to take a step forward. Yeah? Yeah, if it is true, yeah, go for one step forward. Let's go to the next one. Sorry, yeah, that's fine.
The step 4.
That's okay.
All employees have equal access to cybersecurity trainings.
Nice.
Has everyone in your organizations have equal access to the trainings, cybersecurity trainings? Then take a step forward. If not, take a step back. And
Let's
the
go to the
final
last
step.
one. Your teams have never struggled to set boundaries between work and personal life due to continuous availability. I'm sure it's easy. 2 steps back.
Okay. All right, now stop. Stop. See where you stand from where you started. I know there's no enough space. We kind of had a struggle there, but see, some are near front, some are near back, but mostly it's scattered. So this is exactly how the real challenges in the hybrid world looks like. They don't hit the same. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for taking part of this activity. Let's give a round of applause.
So
today, now you saw the challenges, right? So today you are going to change the future of these challenges. But how? So that's what we are going to take you through today. You are going to change your leadership. You are going to evolve to meet the challenges in the hybrid world and face it with the right tools, right technologies, and right mindset. So,
moving on. So I think you all yourselves realize that how challenging it is to even the certain statements, they're very confusing. It's very difficult to understand. I mean, that's how, when it comes to hybrid environments, that's how those are the challenges that each and every one of your teams will also be facing. So your leadership has to be really, really refined and carefully managed. Otherwise, teams will be struggling. So we've tried to identify a couple of, while there are many challenges, we've tried to identify a couple of key challenges. To be very specific, 5 challenges for the purpose of this workshop. And then we'll see how we are going to overcome those challenges through certain tools, like Savani said. And you will be working on those. You will be arriving at solutions. Yeah, so moving on to the first challenge what we've identified. If you see in your hybrid environments, if your teams are not able to join the calls, people are not joining the remote calls, people are not really engaged in your discussions. Those are symptoms of communication and collaboration issues in your hybrid environments. Right? Moving on to the second one, again, if your employees are getting frequently sick on Fridays, if your team members are not really getting engaged or not really contributing to their capabilities, you need to identify. Those are the symptoms of employee engagement is going to be a challenge in the organization. The third one is about productivity and performance. So how are you going to measure your productivity? How are you going to measure the performance of your teams? If it is challenging, I mean, if you have not set the correct expectations, the correct KPIs, teams will not be really doing what is expected to be done. Right? So those are what we need to manage. We need to find solutions. Let's move on. And then, of course, if there are phishing emails that are coming to our employees and they are falling for them, there are cyber attacks coming into our organization, or your team members are using their personal devices for their office work, there's a threat. There are risks of cybersecurity. So there will be challenges related to cybersecurity and data privacy in your organization. Last but not least, this is very, very easy, I think, employee well-being. If your employees are being required to work without any time boundaries, they are being required to be online mornings, evenings, during Saturdays, Sundays, weekends. If this is hitting your employees, if this is hitting your team members, then you are compromising your employees' well-being. We need to find solutions for those. Yeah? So with these 5 challenges, let's see how we're going to find solutions for these. What is the roadmap for today, Savani, on the next couple of slides?
Yes. So, Kalana, like you said, these challenges. So how do you change the future of these challenges? You need to have the open mindset to unlearn some of the rules that we have outlived, and even the thinking patterns that's not serving us anymore in this hybrid world. So are you ready for that? That's where the journey begins. So let me take you through what's in store for the leadership journey today. So we felt that hybrid pulse. We started with the hybrid leadership walk. We saw the gaps, those steps, you remember? And then we identified the challenges. We broke it down, the 5 areas: collaboration, engagement, and the well-being. So moving on, we want to get into, we need to get into laying the foundation for your future leadership that the future needs from you. So this starts with identifying and understanding what it means to be truly agile, what it means to be inclusive, and being ready for the future teams. So with that, we finally get into the actions, putting the DEI values in action with some powerful frameworks that you can use in your organizations. And finally, we will be going to seal your future with some solutions that have been created and built by yourself. So with that, I think now that you know the roadmap for the day, we'll start with the fundamental questions. So Kalana, as leaders, how do we navigate this unpredictable and fast-moving hybrid world while also making sure that every voice in our team is heard and valued?
Yes, Savani. I think the future belongs to leaders who can thrive with agility, blended with diversity, equity, and inclusion. So with that thought, let's move in how agile leadership is going to help us in this hybrid environment. So agile leadership is all about empowering your teams to adapt and pivot quickly during volatile environments, while fostering a culture for resiliency, communication, and innovation. This will enable agile leaders to bring in different aspects into your organization. And especially, agile leaders will cultivate growth mindset to view challenges as opportunities rather than setbacks. They will enable their teams to think in a different way, while leveraging technology to amplify human potential. They will collaborate. They will bring in agile AI tools to collaborate smartly with humans without trying to replace the humans, like Amila said. So that's where we should head towards. Leveraging, then the agile leaders will foster a fail fast and learn faster culture by implementing a mechanism where your team members can experiment and then learn from those, enabling them to learn faster. Finally, they will instill trust, autonomy to reduce or to cut down the bureaucracies, helping your teams to move faster with confidence. Again, empowering your teams. Agile leadership is all about empowering your teams, right? So those who can really thrive through agility, they will enable their teams. Moving on, Savani, I think, and then just if you can go back to the earlier slide for a second, I just want to share one of those surveys from McKinsey. So they see that agile organizations are more likely to outperform their competitors by 4 times through their surveys, which is a very interesting stat. So you need to think how and whether you all are, as leaders, acting as agile leaders. But the agile leadership needs to be supported by a few other ingredients in this recipe for success. Moving on to the next slide, Savani. So one of the key aspects that we spoke earlier also is diversity and equity. Diversity and equity will provide the fuel for agile leaders to thrive through volatile environments. So, diversity means you're understanding different experiences, perspectives, and ideals, which will enhance your decision making, which will broaden your thinking patterns, and then will enable you to give more creative solutions. Diverse teams are creative teams because they see the big picture. They see different perspectives. And one of McKinsey's surveys again, they've shown gender diverse teams are 25% more capable in driving towards success than their peer teams. But diversity alone will not have a lot of impact. You need to have equity also introduced into your diverse teams. So equity means you give the opportunity to everyone to take their message. So their voice is heard within their teams. You enable your teams to be heard at the same level. Give the same opportunity to everyone, irrespective of their background, irrespective of their location, the time zone, or their race or religion as well. So when you give equal opportunities, you build trust, you bring in fairness into your teams, which will give more confidence and which will gain impact, or which will enable your teams to act together. So they have trust fostered within their teams itself, which will create a positive environment and then make them naturally retained within your organizations. So, again, diversity and equity is definitely going to help and have this recipe for success within agile teams. Moving on, Savani, if you want to touch on the next ingredient, which is going to be the inclusion. How can we engage, how can we bring in inclusive leadership into this recipe?
Right. So Kalana just mentioned how diverse our workplace or the workforce can be. And also how do we acknowledge those differences. But let me tell you, acknowledging isn't enough. As leaders, as modern leaders who are driving these diverse teams, you should also be able to make sure that each and everyone in your team feel heard, valued, and empowered, regardless of their working location, be it office or anywhere, remote, home, and even their work styles, and also their background. So, this is the true essence of inclusive leadership. It's not just about giving a seat in your table, but also giving a mic. So let's see how it looks like in the hybrid work setting. It all starts with prioritizing the authenticity and the psychological safety. People need to show up real, from office or from home, from remote. So they should be able to speak up or even disagree in any forum without having that fear of judgment and retaliation. So that's your responsibility. And also, inclusive leaders don't treat everyone the same. They treat people fairly, recognizing and respecting the unique characteristics of people. Because we have our own battles. We have our own differences. It's not same for everyone, right? So for an example, there can be a group of team members who thrive and enjoy having a physical training session. Well, there can be individuals who would prefer to have one-on-one coaching sessions online. So as an inclusive leader, rather giving a one-size-fit training sessions at office, you would recognize these unique learning styles, and you would give the opportunities to best match their needs. And the next thing is the inclusive leaders going beyond management. They foster those real connections with the employees, and they don't let people feel isolated in their hybrid world. So let me tell you a story. During the post-pandemic, I joined a new company. And when I joined this company, it wasn't like the same, like the time that we went to the office and then we meet people, meet and greet them, and you get this goodies box. It's not like that. I just had to sign in online from home. But the director of my division reached out to me and had a quick huddle. And he was very welcoming, and he actually checked whether I'm settled in. So this is a very small act, but still I felt really welcoming. I felt that I belong to this organization. So these small acts is what that goes a long way. So the modern leadership is now shifting from span of control to span of influence. What does this mean? The traditional controlling, authority-based leadership is now moving to influence-based leadership. While we are at this shift, we also need to make sure that we challenge those old traditional rules, like everyone in your team has to be at office by 8 a.m., while half of your team is working across different time zones. So you need to change your mindset. You really need to challenge those rules and change it from now on. And then, watch out those shadows. Don't let the physical distance lead to silent bullying. In the hybrid work setup, it's very easy to have impromptu, off-the-cuff conversations, leaving people out. So there can be cliques or silos being created due to these practices. So being an inclusive leader, you put stop to this code. And you make sure that people are having conversations in a forum where everyone can share their unique perspectives. So that's where the change starts. And finally, when you see your team members having those hard conversations without having the fear, that's when you know you have created that safe space for your team. So let me tell you an interesting fact. According to a McKinsey study, they're saying 90% of employees are going out of their way to help another in an inclusive workplace. So this is the change we need to bring into our organization, into our teams, and that starts with you. All right, so I think we have looked into the agile leadership, the DEI values, and how they come together to fix the hybrid world glitches. Now, it's time we move from understanding these concepts to action them. Let's take a pause. You remember those steps, the gaps which were spanned and which were mostly cluttered, and then those inequalities, barriers. How do we bridge them? So today we are going to bring you a new lens that you can use to see your teams, to see your cultures, and change that. So we are going to explore this powerful tool called DEI Lens framework.
So, Savani, before we go there, I think it'll be very important for you all to just have a look at this and then understand, because I know it's time is ticking and then it's very close to tea time. Everybody wants to move out and have a quick hot coffee or a tea. But let's get engaged, and next it will be your turn. We will be stopping all our talking. You will be getting into working. So just bear with us for a couple of more minutes, and then you will start working on the tool. Yeah?
Yeah, we'll see the creativity and the leadership from each one of you.
Exactly.
Shortly. So the DEI lens. So this is a framework that we are going to take you through quickly. It's a structured and very powerful yet simple to use framework that help you align your leadership actions with the DEI values. And this helps us ensure the inclusivity, fairness, and representation in our organization decisions, policies, and even the processes. So how does this work? It starts from where you are today. Closely observe your current culture, what's happening around that. And the next step is, as an inclusive leader, envision what's the work culture you need to have, you need to build in your teams and your organization. Now you know what is your current culture and what is your desired culture in your team. And now compare them and look at the gap. Third step, when identifying the gap in this whole process, there are a few questions that you can ask. For an example, let's start with the diversity. You can ask, who's missing from our conversations? And are we welcoming all perspectives? So this is when you can spot any diversity gaps in your decisions, in your policies, or the processes. And then you can ask, are we providing the right technologies to the teams? Or are we sticking with that old traditional technologies, the legacy softwares, legacy technologies that are not helping the innovative teams anymore? Are they given opportunities fairly? And the decisions that we make, are they creating any new barriers or removing them? So by asking these questions, spot those equity gaps. And finally, you can ask whether your team members feels that they're adding value to the organization. Do they know the value that they deliver? And are there any silos created between in-office staff and the remote members? So while these are some examples, this list goes on. So you can have questions from different perspectives to spot those diversity, equity, and inclusion gaps in your organization. Right, now that we know where we are in terms of the gaps, let's move into building the solutions. Now it's the time that you really put all these awareness into action. So when you build the solutions, you need to align them with your organization values. So every organization has some core values. So you need to have them represented in the strategies or the solutions that you build. So some examples, let me give you some practical examples. So in the modern teams, we have mostly the global teams working around the clock. So how do you make sure that all of these teams work in harmony towards one goal? How do they align with that? So you can bring in some models like follow the sun model, where you can define proper communication channels, establish an engagement model with proper governance structures and protocols. So this will make sure that the teams working around the clocks from different time zones, different cultures, can communicate and collaborate and even do the handoffs of the work between the time zones smoothly. And also you can embed the DEI values into the performance. So what's get measured, gets done. You can even appoint DEI champions in your teams, and you can have that mindset, one online, all online mindset, where at least when one person is joining from remote, everyone else engage as if they joined remote, so that you can avoid those side conversations, those biases. So yeah, those are some of the strategies, and I'm sure that in our upcoming activity, these leaders will build much more powerful strategies. And moving to the next step, having action plan is great, but the real change happens with the action. And you need to have people held accountable for these actions. Well, this DEI is no longer a sole responsibility of the HR. It's a responsibility of all of us, all the leaders from the top management to the middle level to the team members, everyone. Each of us are in this together. So you need to define the roles and responsibilities, and then finally, monitor and adapt. The world is changing, so does your team. So this is not a one-time initiative. You need to monitor your hiring trends, the attrition, performance, and keep improving, keep adjusting your strategies and measure them. So with that, I think you have got a grasp of DEI Lens. So are you ready to use this in your teams? Are you ready to put this into action now?
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Right, so moving on, I think...
Maybe, Kalana, do we need to give a quick...
We'll do a quick one,
yeah.
Maybe on the next slide, because here, so everybody would have got a paper on your table with a group number. If you go to the QR, you can go to all the scenarios also. There are a couple of scenarios being duplicated as well. We've just been ready for 20 teams. So you see, there are statements in that. It's a scenario that has been given to you all on the organization, right? So here we put a red cross if it is a negative impact on the organization or your teams. So teams doesn't feel psychologically safe for open communication in hybrid meetings, meaning that so your team's engagement is lacking, They are not communicating well. They are not giving their fullest effort. They are not sharing their thoughts. Similarly, no clear strategy for hybrid working model, meaning people are not required to be on when to be online, and they had to work sometimes during weekends, right? So there are no clear guidelines. There are no clear KPIs being set. So likewise, we will have each team will have a different scenario. So just go to the team. On each paper there will be a group number. If you go through the QR, you can see all the groups and the scenarios. That's just for your reference. Try to focus on the scenario that was given to you all. And then let's start working out on a solution. Let's start going through that steps, identify the solution, and then we'll see how you all come up with these solutions for the given scenario.
Look at these scenarios from the fresh perspective, from what we just looked at, the Agile in DEI. Look at it from that perspective and try to build up some unique strategies, some strategies that will change the future of your teams.
Because the diversity, equity, and inclusion will really help for hybrid teams. I know there was a member who was on the audience, he said that our team is fully hybrid or fully remote. So these things will really matter because you all don't see them, you all don't meet them physically. The physical interactions are really getting deteriorated or really getting limited. So ensuring that everybody is included in your decisions, everybody is being given fair amount of opportunity is very critical. If you can go to the next slide. So we've just tried to put up a small table. We don't need this to be done by y'all. Come up with your own solution. Come up with your own framework. That's where you all will capitalize on the DEI lens. So we've tried to just go through the steps that we've introduced in the DEI lens. So you evaluate the current culture. You have the themes or the statements. You identify the current state of the culture. And then you decide, okay, as a team, get everybody involved, get everybody engaged in your table.
It's a shared effort.
Absolutely. Identify this desired culture, where you want to head towards. So each table will have a different desired state. So then you can identify the gap and then the solution, which is the most important thing that you all will be deriving today. And of course, like Savani said, how you're going to put it into action is all up to you all when you go out to your workplaces, because these scenarios will not be the same in your organizations, right? Shall we go to the next slide? So we just didn't want to go into the details. So we will give you 10 minutes for you all to review the scenario, identify solutions, and then of course each team will have 2 minutes, hopefully, yeah? We'll try to get at least a couple of teams to maybe come to the front, or at your places you all can present or talk about the solution. Sounds good? Can we get started? All good? Everybody is having a scenario. You can turn your chairs to the team. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask.
All good?
So I think we are running short of time as well. So maybe we give about another 2 to 3 minutes max for everyone to gather the thoughts around the solution, and then maybe another couple of more teams who can present, or rather, tell the solutions, share with everyone?
Everyone has got into the rhythm and you're thinking from that line, so keep it up. I heard some good solutions. So, Kalana, maybe do we need anyone who has already done?
With mics. Yeah. Anyone who's willing to share their solutions with everyone, who has completed or who have completed partially or part? You can? Right. Nice. Can we have the mic over here? You can stand up or, yeah. Thank you.
First one is forming small cross-functional teams. That's easy to manage. So what we think is you can't have larger teams, form smaller teams. That's one way to manage. Then the second one is one official working language. So
one official working language. Okay.
Yes. So you have people from multiple ethnicities, from multiple countries. So we have to say, okay, one official working language during remote meetings.
Right.
Great.
That's the second one.
I think that's one of the crucial and most needed practice in our organizations.
That's right. So the other one is, designated. There is a designated facilitator during the meetings, and then you support, and everyone get a chance to speak. So when you have a small team, everyone gets a chance of telling what it is, because we have people with different communication abilities in different teams. Some people willingly speak, some people will not speak willingly.
Correct.
So you have to get them to speak when you're remotely talking.
Absolutely.
So you give that opportunity to speak, and there has to be a facilitator who gets them to speak as well. Then provide official devices. So when we began remote working, we asked, okay, can you use your personal laptop to get things done? Well, that shouldn't be the way. The company should provide the official devices for official work with the applicable policies and all that.
Cybersecurity
policies, yeah.
People should be given the awareness of the cybersecurity that should be in their blood. And when you're dealing with your office things, in an outside environment. So
we can avoid a lot of security threats with this
by
approach.
giving devices from the office.
That's right. So official devices must be provided from the office, and the policy should be using. So you might be using the multiple devices, like you can have official apps in your phone, but then again, the people should be aware how you can use your personal devices to your office apps. So that awareness should be given, should be part of your blood, should be part of the way of new working as well.
You can create training sessions,
Quizzes,
demonstrating the same practices.
Same thing.
Exactly.
It has to be, over and over again until the people get to know that you have to, do it repeatedly.
Absolutely. Nice.
Then clear timelines and clear objectives should be in place. So when you tend to work remotely, there is a bit of time for you, but we must inculcate that everyone, should adhere to the timelines, objectives, given work that's given, to our people, because we have to do work. Work has to get done. Doing remotely is the way of working or the mode of delivery. So that should go into their heads.
So then your KPI should also reflect.
That's right.
When the job is done, it should be reflected in your KPIs as well. So it's a process. It starts from HRs, from cybersecurity, from your IT systems, all of that, until the point that you deliver value to your customers.
Yeah. Other thing is what we also mentioned, owners of the delivery of that item is with the team member. So you only know that there is a problem that you are unable to deliver it, you have to reach out. Not your manager always reach out saying, okay, you have a problem or not. Because you're remote now, you know that, okay, you can't, say for example, you can't log into an environment or anything, right? You are the one who know that what's the problem, but you have to reach out.
You need to create those communication
paths. That's right.
Open,
so you
right?
create, so sometimes when you reach out individually, some people may not help because you are too junior or something, right? So we have to create a culture where maybe multiple groups.
That's where the equity comes into play.
Yes, multiple groups are created, a platform is created where your manager and everyone is there. So the problems are, spoken and answers are taken as well.
Nice.
So,
Nice. Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Yeah.
there's some
There's
more.
some more? Please go ahead. Maybe, yeah.
And the team culture to support members, tasks, yes, and respecting others and all that, so that, even you're working remotely, you're respected for your personal time as well. That comes to a larger picture because, we spoke about employee well-being.
Absolutely.
One
Respect
might
is one
have
of the
a
key
late
areas.
start going to the gym in the morning, other one,
course.
will do the gym time in the evening. So you need to understand each one's well-being and, personal
Their
time
personal
when you
schedules.
have remote meetings as well. So that will bring success in working remotely and hybrid culture.
Thank you very much. Thank you
Awesome.
very much for
Thank you
being brave.
very much. Can we have a round of applause?
Can we have your good name also, please? Primali.
Primali.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Thank you,
Primali.
Primali. Thanks a lot. Any other team?
Thank you for giving us this opportunity anyway once to run with this DEI model. Even though we didn't actually follow the model in the same way, we started sort of building solutions right away. She covered most of the things that we discussed as well, but some specific things that we were thinking of was people joining remotely to always have videos on, so that people on site also realize that these guys are engaged, because we always find a lack of sort of engagement from people who are remote. At the same time, when we join remotely, something that happens is the people who are on site gets on site chats. I think this was mentioned before as well, and we don't really know what's happening.
Yeah.
So, and that also comes with that language. Sometimes the side chats are in a different language, and it's even more difficult to understand what's happening. So keeping both people engaged, so remote guys turning on the videos. On site, we have somebody like a Scrum Master, somebody to observe and say, hey, you know what? There's a set of people who are remote. Let's speak to the camera, let's speak to the mic or something like that. That also requires good tech, because the video should be there. Sometimes it's long tables, so that should support both sides, etc.
Sometimes for remote organization, for people who are working remotely, the company also might have to support in terms of if the connection is not good at their home, provide the solutions, talk to the communication providers, get their support, get their contacts going. Those kind of things are also something that the leaders have to think through and provide solutions.
Yeah, absolutely. I think before this organization, I was in a fully remote org. So there, I had to, it's also personal accountability. When I join a call and when I know there are power cuts, I myself charged my phone to know that, I've got to have the hotspot running if something happens. So one other specific thing was around considering remote, people going to gyms, etc. What we do is we have our calendars open, so anybody can see what we are doing, even if it's going to gym or whatever, it's blocked off. Yesterday when we were out of office, we have the out of office, and it's shared. We are going for a conference, it's across the board. Yeah. So
awesome.
That visibility is super helpful. Yeah. And talking on that security point, I think it's good, and we need to encourage that culture that security is not just one person's responsibility, it's everybody's. One person messes up, that's the point. That's the weakest point, is the entry point for anyone. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I think I covered everything.
Awesome, thank you.
Awesome.
By
Thank
the way,
you.
what's your good name, please?
I'm Lakmal. Lakmal.
Lakmal. Thanks, Lakmal. Thank you very much.
All right.
Anyone
I saw
else?
some hands raising from that side. Maybe you want to share the solutions you came up with?
So, hi guys. So we had 1, 2, 3 resolve within this. How structured, and the being result driven, and balanced hybrid work. Structured. Okay. Basically, what's the easiest structure we can go? Scrum. Let's go with that, because we all are in IT, and most of the time we are all going with Agile. So in build, we are doing the things in Scrum. We build the communication channel there itself. How we can make it more comfortable for them to make a fail-proof environment. That making failing is a bit okay with it. The reason why I'm talking about failing is, in our problem statement, we have to talk about the burnouts. Burnouts not just coming from the work pressure. It's coming from not being able to fail sometimes. You should be able to fail and learn. So that comm channels making people to like be comfortable with failing without a judgment. Because seniors are there, juniors are there, everyone is there.
That's a very important perspective.
Yeah. Because it's a collective responsibility at the end of the day of a squad or a team. And in that channel, we encourage people to not to go one-on-one with people. Just bring it up to the channel. Talk there. Talk in the squad scrum or somewhere else. Like that.
That's very good.
That could expedite a lot of lengthy conversations,
Exactly.
right?
And that saves time, reduce the stress, burnout is getting reduced day by day. And then how well the diversity looks around it. Seniors, juniors, entry level, architects, people who are ready to retire as well. Everyone giving their POV, and that improves the bigger picture way bigger than it was before. And then the hours of work. Nobody look into the hours of work anymore. It's how complexity and what's the uncertainty of this particular work. If you want a matrix, go with story points. Just log hours, that's for sure. Just go and log hours, 8 or 12, just log it. But go through with the complexity as well as the uncertainty. There you can easily identify your velocity as well as your team's velocity. In that way, delivery is there for sure. And again, how well that you can get these diversity thoughts into this all inclusiveness. Easy. In sprint planning, have a sprint goal. At a sprint demo, check whether you have like achieved it. In that sprint planning, you have everyone, as I mentioned earlier, and all of them bringing their own POVs to that. In the sprint demo, you have much more broader audience, which they bring their POVs again to verify what you have delivered. Questions will be answered then and there itself. So you can verify that, be happy about it, and get that ownership mentality and the happiness in the same time. In planning, you get the ownership mentality, I'm doing this, we are doing this. At the end of the day in a sprint demo, you get, we did it.
The achievement.
Achievement. Just like that, a reward process building itself. It's not just salary anymore in this life cycle. It's about how happy you are doing what you love.
Absolutely.
Especially for the Gen Z.
Especially for the Gen Z, yes, you're true. So yeah, that's what we came up with. Thank you all.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
By the way, if you can tell your good name, please. I'm Vidura. Awesome. Thanks, Vidura. Anyone else? So I think we covered a lot from this area. Anybody from
This
the left side?
side.
Maybe one more team we can give. Any more leaders who can share
We
their
want
thoughts?
to see the energy, the leadership.
Do we have anyone? Oh,
Awesome.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm not going to cover everything because I think
No,
majority
that's
of
fine.
these
That's
things
fine.
have
Just
been
touch
covered.
on the
But
areas.
one thing that I would like to add is regarding this security thing. We also had the same kind of a case study where people joining from home, joining with their own devices which are not security enabled or whatever. So for that, I think one key thing that we need to make sure is from the workplace also we need to set the right infrastructure within the workplace to make sure that these kind of things are foolproof. So that I think the addition for all these things.
Very correct, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if the organization share the devices, if they don't have a proper structure or cybersecurity strategies implemented, then of course we are not, we are still having the issues, right?
So we are compromising the data that your organizations have.
Perfect. Any different solutions, any different
Anyone who
ideas
wants to share your thoughts?
from this table maybe? Anything different that you all came up with? Same
All right.
things. All right.
So, okay, while we go on, I think on the other side of the paper that we've given you, there's one more QR. While we get on with the next set of couple of slides, on this QR, you can go and maybe you can type it through whatever the solution or whatever the one commitment that each and everyone is going to give at the end of this workshop. Savani, I think, so we started with this time capsule or hybrid time capsule. We started with the challenges, we started with the problems, and then we wanted to find solutions. I think you all did a good job. About 5 teams were able to share their thoughts. Thank you very much for those ideas. I'm sure everybody can take it home and start attacking those challenges and building solutions. Think through the DEI lens, because hybrid work model is here to stay. Everybody will be going into hybrid or sometimes full remote as well. So you need to think through, you need to get engagement, because people is the most important or the most powerful tool that we have. None of the tools will be able to replace the thinking pattern of humans. Right? So we need to empower it. We need to, as leaders, you all have to empower that at your work organizations. So with that thought, I think we've covered most of the challenges and we've found solution, and you can continue to do that while we talk, while we go home, while we work. So, Savani, you want to add anything here?
Yeah, I think we started with the hybrid struggle. We reflected through those struggle, and then we leveraged this powerful tool, the framework, DEI Lens. And today you have built something different and something new that is agile, inclusive, and ready for tomorrow. So, like Kalana said, you can scan this QR, you can see, you can go to the Future Ready Leadership Manifesto that we are going to build today. And this one is with the commitment from each one of you. What is that one action that you would take out of this workshop and implement in your teams? Just one action, one commitment. Please post it here.
Yeah, so it's a wall. You all can type it in, and then we will show it here. Things will add up here, and then you will take this home as well. So the more you contribute, the more solutions that we can share as a group, as a team of leaders. Everyone's contribution is going to help each and everyone. So that's where leaders come into play. We share the same concepts, we share the same thought process.
It could be a small step, small action, but you know, that's where it starts. The change happens from a small action from individuals. So how many people we have here? Like nearly 100? So imagine 100 actions. So if you do them, go back to your teams and implement them, imagine the change that you can make as leaders. So we see there are so many actions coming up. People first, inclusive, and culture that respect all. Great. Yeah, I think the respect is one of the critical component in our current hybrid culture. We need to respect people's time. We need to respect their different working cultures, communication styles.
All right, let the list grow as you talk, as you go home, as you go to your workplace. So that, I think, brings to the end of our workshop, Savani.
Yes, so take this energy back to your teams, your organizations, and your leadership. So this is not just a wall, it's a commitment that you are making today. So this wall, Future Ready Leadership Manifesto, you have built today, will be accessible for everyone from anywhere. It will be open for all of you, and you will see some creative ideas from different individuals, different leaders here. So you can look at them and try out those with your teams. So yeah, with that, I think we are coming to an end. So the pulse of agile and inclusive leadership beats in you now. Go, get it heard. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kalana and Savani. Can we give them a round of applause? All right. And to give, please be with us. And to give their tokens of appreciation, may I have Jenny and Indupuli from the organizing team? Come. Where's Janani? Thank you. And can we have the two presenters on stage for one moment? And Evelyn can join, as well as, can we have Amila? Amila, you're there? Yes? All right, so our wonderful workshop presenters, lightning round presenters, all on stage for one group photo for the leadership track. Do we have Janani? Janani is in the house. Give a round of applause. So that brings a close to day 2 leadership track. Did you have a good time? Yes. Did you learn something? Yes. And thank you very much for your interaction. Thank you for sharing what you learned and what you did in your groups. Now it's time for? Yes. So make your way down to the 7th floor for tea and then be back in the main room in the forum for the rest of the session. Sounds good? All right, then everybody up. Enjoy your tea, and I'll see you in the forum. We have about 20 minutes, so make your tea snappy.